This production has been authorized, vetted, evaluated, and approved for your consumption by Wild LLC. You're welcome.
Hello, welcome.
Hi there.
Yes.
Hey there. Oh there.
We're back.
Good to see you.
Right.
Yes, we are here for another brand new episode of the Opinion City Podcast. This is episode 76.
76.
Continue LVAC month. We
Yes.
are super excited for tonight's guest. And
Yes.
in case you were playing Club Soda Bingo alongside of us, you've already got Puff marked off on your card, but tonight we get to check off another member of Club Soda on
Part 2.
The Club Soda Bingo card. And
2.
listen, if this top 5 tonight is going to be,
It's going to be
ridiculous.
Wild.
Yes,
wild.
We're super excited for
Cannot wait.
It's
for you to hear
going to
this
be a
top
great
5.
show. Yeah. But before we get started, just as we always do, just a reminder that there are 3 free and easy ways if you would like to support the show. Number 1, hit that like button.
Hit that like button. Let them
give us the thumbs
let
up.
us know that you like us, that you enjoy us.
Indeed. Let
show
us
us some
know
love.
that you like what we're doing because we like doing it for you.
Yes.
Number 2, smash that subscribe button.
Yes.
Smash it. Listen.
Never miss a video. Never miss an upload. Never miss a short.
No, never miss anything we're doing. And finally, that share button.
Yeah, share with friends, coworkers, colleagues, strangers, people who enjoy different kinds of sodas.
Listen, tell everybody, look, go out on the street and, crack open a 12-pack and share it with 11 people. And
there you go.
Right. If you would like to support us even further, hey, we've got merch.
We got all the merch.
That's
all
a
the merch
looking logo right there, but we've got all kinds of merch. And
raw merch.
Listen, here's a little secret. I don't know if we've told anybody this yet, but here's a little secret. We have fanny packs.
Yeah, fanny packs. You can't sleep on fanny packs.
No, listen, absolutely not. No. You can follow us at Opinion City Pod to see everything we're doing. You can follow at Wild_LLC to see everything that the corporate evil overlords that are currently owners of High Tension Wrestling and the Opinion City Podcast. You can see what they're doing if you so choose. I don't know if you would, but hey. And then finally, and most importantly, follow and support our guests. You most important. Social media links running along the bottom. If you have a chance to go out and see our guest, if you have a chance to buy some merch, please. It is super important that you support our guest. And with that, Sean, it's time to introduce our guest. So,
which we already said it's the other half of the Club Soda. We already spoke to Puff back in episode 33. This week we have his tag team partner, Jeff Cannonball. Jeff, how's it going?
Oh, it's pretty good. Thank you.
I love the thumbs up.
Yes, I love the thumbs up.
That is a particular favorite of mine. I have I have a little
thumbs up mug.
Perfect.
It's all about thumbs up. We got to start off because this is
start off hot.
We're going to start off hot here. So listen, what is with Squirt? Let's talk. Let's just get it out of the way. Talk about Squirt because it has become as much a phenomenon as the tag team.
Yeah, it probably more so. All credit to that goes to Simon Sutherland. He was the one who was showing up all of a sudden with 12 packs of multiple 12 packs of Squirt.
Right.
And he once said to me, or he said to all of us, you might hear some cats that just run by every once in a while.
Nice.
He said that he likes it because it sounds like a curse word, but it's not.
Right.
It's funny. Right. Plus, obviously, all the innuendo.
Of course.
Some might catch on to. Yeah. Honestly, I do think it's a great soda. It's never been my go-to. It is Tara Calloway, my wife's favorite soda. Oh. It's a top 3, I would say, for her.
Yes, we forgot to mention that we also have the spirit of of Tara on the episode as well. Honorary mention, we'll guest off screen.
Yeah, without her, I would never have the camera up and running. So.
Right. Yeah. Right. So
that's Squirt pretty much. And I'm not complaining about it. It's nice. Recently we found Squirt Zero.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Puff's big on like the diet sodas. I'm now bigger on them. I'm trying to be better. Mm-hmm. So that was an exciting twist in the tale of Club Soda.
Speaking of sodas, on his episode, he mentioned his top 5 sodas. What are some of your favorite sodas?
So I remember on his episode, I don't know if it was in his top 5, but I know when talking about A-Tree, he said Big Blue was his number 1 for A-Tree.
Right. Yeah.
100% agree.
Right.
Honestly, like I'm kind of boring right now. I'm just kind of drinking Diet Cokes constantly now.
Right.
But Faygo's Rock and Rye in a glass bottle.
Okay.
The can's nice, man. But once you get the glass bottle,
right,
probably my favorite soda of all time.
Oh, that's tremendous.
You can't go wrong with a good old Dr. Pepper.
Never.
Yeah.
So I would say Rock and Rye, Diet Pepper, and but there's cotton candy Faygo too. Honestly, I could probably make a top 3 Faygos and be more than happy too.
Do you have a favorite Mountain Dew flavor? Because there's so many flavors now.
Ooh.
Probably, honestly, probably Code Red, which I know is probably a little boring.
No,
okay,
that's good. That came out when I was in high school, and it was maybe even like a little younger, maybe even middle school, and it was the best thing I ever had. And I think to this day, I think it's my favorite one. I'll still try every single one that comes out.
Of course.
So a raspberry lemonade one that's real good, but I think if I get the choice, I'm usually going Code Red.
Right.
So I am a Mountain Dew aficionado.
Fanatic.
My wife will tell you that like I have to try every new Mountain Dew, and I have 3 favorites. Coming in at number 3, when they were doing the contest that eventually picked Voltage, they had another flavor which was like a light purple flavor called Supernova, and that was like the runner-up to Voltage. That one was really good. I like the Red, White, and Dew that they did this year. That's like
I do like that one. That's up there too.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah,
and then my absolute favorite is the Christmas Merry mashup, which is like the cherry pomegranate one.
Oh, listen, I did like that.
When Christmas rolls around, I hunt that down, and my wife knows the minute I see it, I'm coming home with like a whole cart full.
Like, I forgot about that one. That was very nice too.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed that one.
I definitely drank too many of the red, white, and blue ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait,
it's a very good one.
How many is too many? Do you have like a certain amount in one day? It's too many, or?
I would say no. I would say if I'm drinking the heavy sodas, I'm not beating one a day usually.
Okay, right.
Contrary to what the internet probably thinks about me, and it's all my fault.
Right.
I would say probably like 3 times a week of a Mountain Dew might have been too much, but I probably did more than that plenty of times.
Right.
So not to like dispel or any illusions here or pull back the curtain too much, but my wife has brought me a soda.
There you go. That one.
By the way, this is Starry from out of the fountain from Sam's Club.
Okay.
There you go.
We did.
I wasn't too big on Starry, but I'm not like a big like Sprite guy, so I get it.
Yeah.
Right.
So we were at Steel Stack SmackDown 3 this year, and we were there a little earlier in the day because they were having like an Oktoberfest around, and we were sitting outside the Arts Quest Cafe there, and I look up, and all of a sudden I see Simon Sutherland walking towards us carrying nothing but 12 packs of Squirt. It was just it was a moment.
Yeah, I fully believe that. And he was trying to keep the Squirt Zero hidden the whole time. I don't know if he was still hiding it yet at that point, but
right.
Once he got there, he was very secretive about it.
Well, that was like a big reveal. That was like a new member of the team.
Right. Yeah. Like Squirt. Then bam, Squirt Zero.
Yeah.
Coming at you.
And Puff's been asking for that since day one.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we even. I didn't know there was a Squirt Zero. I don't know if he did, but Puff is big on just drinking like the 0-calorie drinks.
Right, the 0 sugar. Yeah,
so I know he's wanted that from the beginning, and I think that made his day more than anything.
I bet.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah, it was very surprising.
Speaking of Puff, so why don't you tell us how all of that sort of came together? You, Simon, Puff, Club Soda, the whole team.
Sure. So Ultramantis Black came up with the name Club Soda. That was all his idea. He actually asked us.
Of course, makes sense.
Would you guys want to tag? Right? He goes, would you want to tag together? And this is what I'm thinking about for the name. And we were all for it. Before that, we had tagged 2 or 3 times for Circle 6.
Mm-hmm.
And we never had a name, to the point where we were doing promos about trying to come up with a name for us.
Right.
Never came up with one. Ricky Shane Page, who was booking Circle 6 at the time, never came up with a name. We were just puffing Cannonball every time.
Right.
And then when Mantis texted, I don't think it was a group chat, but I'm sure we both got the same text. But when he texted, like, I was thinking about the name Club Soda, I was like, yeah, obviously. Like, there's no better name than that. And I think that's been such a hit. And I remember when we got announced for like the first show as Club Soda, Ricky hit me up and he goes, why didn't we think of this? Like, that's the perfect name for you guys.
Right.
So I think part of it was, hey, you guys are 2 like fun-loving fatties. Like, this is a good team. You both really like soda. So
right.
What about this name? And like, Ultramantis just killed it with that one.
Yeah, right.
So good.
I mean, it's just the whole entrance is perfect. Now, when you guys first started doing entrance with the squirt, did you automatically start doing it with the fans, or did that kind of naturally come about organically as you guys went along?
I don't know if there was ever a plan to hand them out, but I think the fact that Simon Sutherland was bringing 24 plus to every show, we weren't drinking it. So I think it was a natural, like, handed out. I don't think it was discussed. I don't remember. But I think it was like, hey, you brought all this and we're not going to drink all. And hopefully that was his idea from the beginning. Is like, well, hand this out. It'll be fun. And I hope his idea wasn't, hey, you guys drink 24 of these.
Right.
Well, times like right before we go out, where I will like take a couple sips because I can't find water or something.
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, this was a rough idea. Like, I'm feeling it already.
Right.
Then we go out and drink half a can, like 2-3 cans throughout the night.
Right.
So there have been some great moments in squirt history, and
yes,
two of my personal favorites.
Well, yeah, right.
So at Steel Stacks this year, there was a large gathering of kids right next to where we were sitting at ringside, and Avery's kids got squirt from Simon Sutherland, which I thought was hilarious.
Yeah, it was.
They
cute.
quite, and they were not the squirt zeros, so I'm sure Avery appreciated that as well. But at the last show at National Sokals with the exploding squirt can in the corner,
right?
Were you aware of all of that?
I don't think I was.
Yeah, so they had the 12-pack was in the corner, and I think there's only one can in the whole thing left, and I think it was the ants went to do a move, and they hit the corner, and Electro Ant stomped on the one soda, and it just exploded
exploded everywhere,
the whole corner. Yeah.
Oh, everyone was covered.
Yeah,
I do remember this. I remember he got booed after that.
Right.
Yeah, they had to get mops and everything out.
Yeah, they cleaned the whole thing up.
Everywhere.
I feel like that's been the big downfall of Club Soda for LVAC, not for us. Is that,
right, it's just LVAC.
There needs to be a mop on hand, like not this past the big show.
Right.
Steel Stacks. I'm blanking.
Steel Stacks. You're good.
But the year before, I blame the kid. But the year before, Brandon Kirk took one and just dumped it on the entire thing on the floor.
Yes.
I feel like that's been like, and they keep booking us as a team, and they know the act. I mean, they basically made the act. But I think the big dilemma is it becomes a mess.
Yeah.
Right. But speaking of not only like how Simon came up with the score idea. Well, I just learned, I was talking to you a couple days ago about, meeting with you, is that he actually also made your theme song.
Yeah, that was all him too. I don't know if he even gave it a name, but that's 100% him. He asked, like, "Hey, is it cool if I do this?" And I don't remember what we came out to the first time. I think Mantis might have even been like, "Hey, this is what you guys are coming out to," and we just rolled with it.
Right.
So like, I was all for it. I think we came out to a Hootie and the Blowfish song once.
You did.
Nice.
It was the same Sokol show at the Exploding Can. You came
there
out.
You go.
That
it
makes
was
sense.
only want to be with you. Yeah.
And that was all Puff's idea. And then
nice.
I think, and I side with management on this. They were like, no, we like the other song better.
Right.
So we're playing that, which I agree. Like, what? I mean, not that I'm a big club guy by any means, but like, I assume Hootie and the Blowfish isn't getting played at your hip clubs for the
right.
kids.
Right. No,
Yeah,
I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, they're like the anti-rave band.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. They're the opposite of like hyper. They're like, let's just mellow it out a little bit. Just calm it down.
I'm easy. I remember Puff asked me, like, what do you think of this? I was like, yeah, that's fine. I don't even think I don't know what the song is. I think it's their one hit or their biggest hit.
Yeah.
But I just agree to everything. I'm going to come out and
let's
dance.
do it. Right.
I'm going to play the chair like a guitar and make it fun for myself.
Yeah. That's great.
So sticking, you can go.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, sticking with Stack SmackDown, what does being at that show in that arena mean to you? Like being in part of the shows, being in that amazing looking arena, amazing backdrop.
So I don't remember why, but I couldn't make it to the first one. So I wasn't on Steel Stacks number 1. I think I might have already was booked for something. And then I remember seeing pictures and I was just jealous because like it looks beautiful. Like every picture is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get a bad picture in that building.
No.
The video looked wonderful, everything. So I made sure, like, I think I hit up Chris, who runs it, and was like, hey, well in advance, like, hey, give me the heads up. I'm going to make sure I'm good for this because I missed out.
Right.
I mean, first off, like, LVAC is probably my favorite company to work for. Like, it's so much fun, just top to bottom. And then the 2 shows I look forward to the most are Steel Stacks and then at the Mahoning because that's where I'm a nerd for that. I go there as much as possible when we're not wrestling there.
Right.
So like that's Mahoning is like Real Rumble #1 favorite show of the year. Like I wouldn't miss that for anything.
Right.
Steel Stacks is like close number 2. So like not to get too deep real quick, but like I had some like health issues recently.
Right.
And I told Chris was like hitting me up like, are you sure you're good for it was like basically like blood pressure, heart type things, which I'm good now. I'm going the right way. Good. So like I asked the doctor, I go, can I do this? And like he's like, yeah, he goes, if there's a way to like take it easy with that kind of stuff, do that. Try.
Sure.
Not that I'm like your high flying technical master, but like I still fall down, get up, fall down, get up.
Right.
I did a lot at the last Steel Stack. I remember thinking afterwards, like, I did more than I thought I should.
Right.
But like I made sure, like, honestly, like even if the doctor said no, I probably would have been like, yeah, I'm just gonna do this one.
Right. It was just one match. Right.
That was my first show after like I think 2 months, which was probably the longest time save for like COVID where nobody was wrestling.
Right.
But that's what it meant to me. It's like I wanted to make sure like I'm gonna be good by then. If not, I'm gonna fake it enough. I'll make Puff do all the work, and I'll get into the old WWF Hall of Famer hot tag, and then call it a day.
Right.
I wouldn't miss it now. That and Real Rumble, I would never miss.
Have you been to all 5?
To what's that?
Have you been to all 5 Rumbles?
No, I actually missed the first one of those too.
I know
I was booked that day. I definitely was booked that day. And again, like I was like, hey, like, please keep me in mind for the next one. That's been like my thing with LVAC, where like I wasn't on the first LVAC show, like Let's Hang Out. I was on the second one. I wasn't on the first Real Rumble. I was on the second one.
Right. There seems to be a following pattern here.
Yeah, they make sure it's good enough for me, and then I come in and I do my thing.
Right.
I don't know what the reason is, but it just seems to always work out where it's like I'm not good for this one, and then the next one I'm like, please let me know. And now like Mahoney, like I'll make sure I'm free for that. Like I never went there until that second year. I fell in love with it, and me and Tara started going like all the time up until we had the kid. Now this year it was only like 3 times, but I would go every weekend if I could. It's my favorite place on earth now.
So the first year they had Real Rumble, I lived about an hour away. Now I'm 10 minutes down the road from it.
That's wild.
It's such a great place. Yeah, head over there whenever they have, they have so many cool things going on there. The stuff.
If I were that close, I would live there. I'm an hour and 40 minutes. You would
just have a little tent out there. Like we're good. I'm here.
I'll sleep right outside the grounds and crawl in the morning and be good.
they're more of an experience than just a movie. Like,
absolutely.
Like being there is such a, it's such a different atmosphere. But
if I'm not mistaken, was it you or was it Puff that got locked in the trailer?
That was me. That was me.
Yeah, that's right. That was you. That's what I thought.
The trailer that Virgil, who is I think he's the owner now.
He's the owner now.
He is the owner now.
Yeah, he stays there throughout the season. Like, that's his home during the season.
Yeah.
And so I was locked in his home. It was nice. It's a nice. There's like 3 beds. It was spacious for that trailer.
Wow.
That's I will say it smelled what I assume like Bonnaroo smells like, or like the basement in that '70s show. It smelled like that. I don't know what
God!
I don't know what. Hey, listen, I have no idea. Well, you've had some memorable moments at the Mahoning. You and Chris Worthless had a no disqualification match where you guys were fighting in a kiddie pool.
Yes,
that was.
We went to the trailer in that match too.
There you go. Yeah.
So you're a trailer veteran.
Yes. Yeah, me and Virgil just hang out in there when I get.
Just hang out in there. Yeah. You're like Puff. You got this. I'm gonna go hang out with Virgil.
Exactly.
That's great.
But yeah, no, that match was great. Me and Worthless was great. I remember I got hurt in that match too, and just didn't tell anybody for like a year. And I'm pretty sure I had broken my foot and just never got it fixed.
A whole year. You're all right? Jesus.
Oh, no.
Wow.
No. There were days I remember where I'd get off the couch and be like, I don't think I can walk right now. Like, I can't put weight on this. And like an adult before I had a kid, I ignored it. And
right, like an adult, naturally.
Sure.
But I remember I took something on the grass, and I think my heel just like dove into the ground.
No good.
And it sucked. But I can walk now.
Yeah.
Well, that's the important part.
No harm, no foul.
Right. I didn't believe in doctors back then, but once you have a kid, you believe in doctors all of a sudden.
Oh, right. Yeah, all of a sudden
I didn't believe in them because that sounds like I'm doing some conspiracy thing. I was just lazy and didn't go.
I just didn't want to. I'll pass. I just want to go.
Yeah, I didn't want to know what was wrong.
I believe in doctors. I don't believe in medical bills. That's
there you go. That's even better. We have even better.
Yeah, we butt heads on that one.
So, do you have a favorite Steel Stacks moment of yours?
Oh, I don't know.
And it doesn't necessarily be in your match, just like watching the show.
Right.
Yeah.
That's hard. I actually haven't gone back and watched this year's show yet, which I want to do. Mm-hmm. Part of me is like afraid to watch my match because, like, even though it felt good, like I said, it was my first match in like a month and a half, so I was like, it probably sucked. If I watch it back, I
thought it was a great match. That was a great match.
Thank you. I at the time I loved it, but it was one of those things where I'm just like in my head after. But it was great watching a very good professional wrestler come back. I did watch that. I actually made sure I went out and there was like a little catwalk to the entrance, and I watched that. So that was. I really enjoyed that. Like, I know he can be a bit of a curmudgeon, but I love that dude, and I love his entrance. I love
his entrance. So good. His entrance is one of the best things I've ever witnessed in wrestling history. Because I remember the first time I saw it live with Ralph, and he warned me. He's like, "Listen, this is the thing that happens." You know, just like he gave me the warning. Not that you need one. Just this is what he does. So when he had his arms raised and he dropped, I'm like, "All right, cool, it's over." And then he stood there. I'm like, "Wait, isn't it over yet?" And then it started. I'm like, "Oh God!" And I'm like, "Oh Jesus!" I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, but that was like the one thing I went out of my way. I made sure I watched that, so that stood out. And then I watched the Orange Cassidy entrance from the last.
Oh yeah,
I wanted to hear what that sounded like.
Dude, that roof blew off as soon as he walked out. Yeah.
The thing that sucked about it was I was on right after that.
Right.
But I think we did good. We did good. I think.
But I remember good.
Well, listen, when you're
behind the curtain going, well, we're screwed.
When you're Club Soda, you can follow just about any act.
And we made it work. We made it work. But watching it, I was like, oh, we're done.
We're in trouble. Oh,
what's crazy to me is that Avery already retired once. Yeah. But now he comes back like once a year, and it's like no time has passed.
No, not at all.
All.
In ring and like in like his shape, like his physical.
He's
crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but he's great. So it was a lot of fun to watch that. Like I made sure I went and watched at least the beginning of the match because I want to see the entrance more than anything.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, it's such a great match. Just everything you would expect from him, but then just a little bit more. Like the teaming of him and Lucky 13 was just, I don't know, it shouldn't have worked, but it was great.
Yep.
Yeah. So definitely good stuff. Steel Stacks is such an atmosphere though, and it's crazy. You know, like the people you see walking around, like Carrie Silkin just comes and hangs out.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean. Like,
yeah,
it's insane.
It's strange, but I love it. It is a lot of fun there. It's no Mahoning for me, but it's right there.
It's a close second.
Close second. Yeah.
So, how did your association with the LVAC all come about? Like, how did you find out about the LVAC? Did they approach you, or how did that all work?
So I've been friends with Mantis for years. We wrestled once at a Dropkick Depression show, the first one, which I think Tara would agree is probably the worst one, so don't watch it.
Oh God!
Not IWTV. Watch the other ones. But because we're both like from like the hardcore punk scene,
right?
And like vegan, straight edge, and all that. So like we bonded over that early on. And we wrestled there. I always kept in touch with them, and I didn't do the first one. I think I just wasn't asked to do the first one. And then I think I might have hit him up about it. And he goes, I remember him saying to me, at least in the building for the first one I did, he goes, I didn't know if you'd want to do it because like you do all the deathmatch stuff and you probably make more money doing that. I was like, I don't care. This is fun. I just like fun.
Right.
I love
it.
Like, I mean, at the time for sure, like I probably still am more known for deathmatch stuff than anything.
Right.
But like, I just love professional wrestling. Like it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Like, I haven't done a deathmatch in well over a year because again, the baby, blame the baby.
Right. Don't baby's fault.
Yes, exactly. and I miss it, but like I love wrestling, so like I'm not like sad about it. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna do it again eventually. I know for a fact, no plans of it, but
just one day
it's gonna happen. But right now, like just because I'm still wrestling, like I don't miss it, and so I think he didn't ask me because he thought maybe that's all I wanted to do, and because like those matches do pay a little better. But I was like,
right.
I'll come do whatever you tell me to do. Like, don't worry about it.
Right.
So, and I've been on pretty much every one since then, except for like, unless I was booked for something else ahead of time. But at this point, like I'm wrestling less right now. Again, this one's actually because of the baby.
Right. Yeah.
That's actually true. But I told him like, I'm not, whenever you need me, like I'm here. Like,
right.
That's one I'm not taking a break from.
Well, I think it also helps too that they only run like maybe 6-7 shows a year. So it's all spaced out. So you have that time to do whatever you gotta do before each show. You have enough time in between.
It's been perfect for like my newfound schedule. So like it's been perfect.
So not to get too far off track here, but you mentioned Dropkick Depression, and so the LVAC has and we always talk about this on the show. The LVAC has a very sort of Chikara type feel to it. And when we say that, it's fun and the fans are involved, and it's a whole atmosphere and a vibe. So the LVAC definitely has that feel, but I went to the last Dropkick Depression show with Sean, and that was my first Dropkick Depression show, and I got to tell you, that was just as much fun, if not more fun, than an LVAC show.
It was much fun.
So incredible from top to bottom.
So crazy fun.
So much fun.
She's smiling over there.
Yeah.
I was really proud of that last show too. I think that was a really good first show.
That show was so good. Yeah.
So when the 6-man tag match got done between Abby Jane Razorhawk and Shay McCoy against Danger Hawk Pancakes and wherever Hatfield,
that match was so good.
I turned to Sean and I said, I think that's match of the year contender right there.
Absolutely.
I'll put that up against anybody because it was it was fun from top to bottom. Like it was such a great idea to like split up the tag.
That was all her idea.
Well, I great job. Bravo.
Yes, absolutely.
The Shield entrance, the Austin entrance, Razor Hawkston, the Danger as in the Rock, just so good. Just so good.
I like to try to write. I write up cards I just have fun just writing cards. I'm like a nerd. So I always picture a billion ideas, but that one was 100% her. Like I had nothing to do with that one, and it worked out great. And now we just need our editor to finish it so we can finally be online because now we're talking about it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and the Falls Count Somewhere match, that was just brilliant.
That was my idea.
That's genius. That's so
that was
good.
such a great dude. When they announced it, we're like, what? But what does somewhere mean? Like, where is somewhere?
We all found out together.
Well, and Kennedy and Eric played it so well.
So well. I just love that.
Yeah.
Is it here? No.
And like that was one I knew from the beginning. I was like, I've known Corvus since my day one of wrestling training.
Right.
I was like, he's the perfect guy for this. And then I think we might have had like 3 names we were between, and we're like, I think Kennedy's the best one. I think I might have even pitched him the 3, and he agreed that like Kennedy's perfect for it.
Right.
So I think there couldn't have been 2 better people doing this ridiculous, goofy match.
No, but it was played so well. They both played it up so well. And my favorite part was the times where the ref were like, almost.
Yeah.
No.
Like, the anticipation was, is this the spot?
Right. Yeah.
From top to bottom.
Is this it? No.
Yeah. So good.
But yeah, it's 100% on purpose that it feels a little Chikara-y.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys were at any of the Mania weekend shows, but there was the one that was Labor of Love and Sean Henderson's.
Yeah, we were at both shows.
They did Jimmy and Jimmy Lloyd and Ultraman's Black.
Oh, that match was crazy.
And
wow. Absolutely insane.
And I told them afterwards, because again, I love them both, even though I hate Jimmy at Steel Stacks.
Right.
And I was like, we got to do that at Dropkick, so that way you have the low ring. It feels like an old Chikara show, because I know that's what Jimmy's a big deathmatch guy too, but he's like me, where like he grew up on like not only like old CZW, but the old Chikara,
right?
2007, 2008.
Yeah.
So I know like that's something he would want. So I'm hoping to make that happen at Dropkick, just because I think it will feel like such an old Chikara match with those.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now,
well, I will tell you this. I think that, and you know, Jimmy Lloyd's Jimmy Lloyd, but I think he's lying about being Matt Cardona's favorite broski. I don't think he's his favorite.
I think it's a lie.
100% think it's a lie.
At the very least, he's got a good job carrying bags for him.
Yeah. That was. Well, listen.
I probably shouldn't insult him when I just said I want to try to book him. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll edit
not
that
anymore.
out.
Not anymore.
We didn't hear that. No.
Now, how would he balance going from deathmatch wrestling to the family-friendly, fun environment of the LVAC, or do you have maybe a more favorite that you lean into more?
Not really. Like it's easy for me. Like I didn't do my first deathmatch till I think three years into wrestling.
Oh wow, okay.
So like I was doing like admittedly crappy like North Jersey like terrible shows, but they were family friendly, and like that's how I got my start for like 3 years, and then I did my first deathmatch, and I always wanted to do it from the beginning. I've always loved it, but I always wanted to do both kinds of wrestling. Like I want to do normal wrestling. Like, granted, you know, I look like this. I'm not going to go out and do like a technical master class, but I could wrestle. And I think with LVAC to this day, like I still kind of have like a little bit of that, like I'm paper cutting people, or like the barbed wire bat.
The worst move since the roll up is the paper. Is that?
I'm not going to say anything more. But today while doing laundry, I had an idea for a new move.
Oh no!
Puff and Puff goes, people are going to hate. You're going to make people uncomfortable. So,
oh no!
I didn't even tell her this yet, but you'll see it the next show, because Puff was all in on it. But he goes, people aren't going to like this.
Oh no!
So I
guess stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
And you'll know it when you see it.
Yeah,
I promise.
We will think back to this moment.
Yeah, for this. Yeah.
Yeah, I love doing death matches. I love doing regular. Like I just love pro wrestling. Like I love watching. I love doing it. Like I know Puff doesn't watch it. Never cared.
No, he doesn't know. He doesn't.
Tell you that.
Yeah.
I fell in love with it at like super young. My dad got me into it when I probably couldn't even walk yet. Like or barely walk probably.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And just I've loved it ever since. Like I'll still go back and watch. Like everybody hates on it, but I love 93 to 95 WWF. Like that's what that's my nostalgia. Like I grew up on it, and like everybody's favorite genre is nostalgia. And for me, that hits the spot. All the dumb gimmicks and stuff. Are you guys familiar with ICW?
Yes.
I have asked several times to Dan DeMonte, who runs that, for 2 matches. One is Hornswoggle.
Right.
In the chains, I would like to wrestle Duke the Dumpster Drowsy.
Oh,
Fortunately, DeMonte doesn't see it the way I see it. So.
Listen, I was at the Chikara show he did, and it was insane seeing Duke the Dumpster Drowsy again. Like that was just. It's a moment you can't imagine in your head what it's going to be like, and then it happens, and you're like, "This was so freaking cool."
Yeah, right. I'm trying to get him. That's my era of wrestling. So again, I'm going on tangents, but I just love all wrestling, no matter what it is. So like doing LVAC, doing death matches, like it's all pretty much the same to me. Like I know that's kind of like a boring answer, but
no, not at all.
I love doing it all. I'll do whatever I'm told.
So. Going back, what was your earliest? What is your earliest wrestling memory?
So I specifically remember, and I wasn't. It definitely wasn't like that year that it happened. But I remember my dad coming home from work, and he worked at the post office. But I think somebody
so do I.
Nice. I think somebody at his job gave him a VHS of WrestleMania 3.
Oh, okay.
I remember and I don't remember like anything before, but I remember specifically being like, "Oh my god, I'm going to see Hulk Hogan versus Andre!" Like I was really excited about that. That's genuinely probably the earliest memory I have of wrestling. I was never a Hogan guy. I was always an Ultimate Warrior guy. He's the reason I fell in love with wrestling. He's the reason I wanted to be a wrestler. I know that you can say what you will about his skills or his personal beliefs, but he was the reason I want to do everything. Like he's probably the reason why I'm still like kind of like a niche wrestler and not necessarily, like he's probably to blame for a lot of that. But so like I remember watching WrestleMania 6 and when he beat Hogan, flipping out. I remember crying when Papa Shango made Black Ooze come out.
Oh, right.
I have a lot of young memories. I remember going to like a house show, probably in like 93, 94, that my parents brought me to a house show, and I bought a Bret Hart stuffed animal bear, and it had the glasses on it. Yep. And without telling my parents, I just decided I'm going to wear those glasses when I go to bed. So I wore the pink glasses to bed. They were meant for a teddy bear. So I woke up and I just had pink all over my eyes.
Oh, no.
My mom was ready to take me to the doctor. She thought I had the worst eye infection of all time. But I have plenty of young memories. These are like my favorite. That's like I said, like I love the nostalgia of it all because that's what I was around for. Like I was a kid, I didn't know who was actually a good wrestler, but I loved it all.
Speaking of nostalgia, I have legitimately been trying to get the Mean Street Posse on this show for the longest time. Like I am actively pursuing them.
How's that going?
Not very well, to be honest. Listen, I wrote them letters. I told them, listen, I bought sweater vests in honor of you. Like this is, this is gonna be a whole thing. I have not heard back yet.
A buddy of mine tattooed one of them once.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, but he died, so I can't ask him anymore.
I don't mean to laugh.
Well,
you said that.
I loved him. Rest in peace, Brian. But like, I did it because I knew it was gonna be funny. Yeah, I remember him telling me, like, he was like, I tattooed a wrestler. He was, I forget which one, and he was like, he was very, very nice, but like a big dude, but super, super nice. And I was like, he told me, I was like, that's a wild one to have.
Yeah,
under your belt.
Right. Yeah. No, right. Like, yeah, it's just nuts.
I'll have to try to push LVAC to get them in.
Oh, absolutely.
That would be so good. All right. We are actively campaigning right now, Chris. If you're listening to this, we are going to be bombarding you. Like that's got to be like the headline for Steel Stacks next year. Is like,
before.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. That's WrestleMania right there.
We've basically booked it for him now. So
it's done. It's booked.
We made his job easy.
Yeah.
I'd probably request enough matches from him that I don't think he'll listen to me, but
probably. Well, what are you gonna do?
So when we had spoken to Puff, he gave us a lot of cool and interesting road stories. Do you have any fun road stories you can tell us?
Oh man. early on, probably actually one of my first road trips. It was me, Too Hot Steve Scott,
Oh,
Joey
okay.
Janela, a guy named Corey Havoc who doesn't wrestle anymore. He was like my first real trainer.
Mhm.
And I want to say another person or two. I don't remember. Oh, Eddie Franken, who's now a ref in NXT, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I kind of like, we'll hit each other up on Facebook. It's been a while, but he's, last I saw, he was reffing in NXT. We were going to Indiana. And Eddie, his dad, runs a pizza place like close by.
Mhm.
So he brought like 3 pizzas, being real nice, like 3 like large pies.
Mhm.
And as we're going, there's like, we're finishing up like 1 pie, and Steve Scott takes the last slice and throws it out the window, being funny. So I decided what I have to do is to one up him. I took an entire box that was not opened yet and threw that out the window. And Eddie was not happy.
You just wasted a whole pizza pie.
And then driving home, we stopped at same trip. This driving home, we stopped at like a Taco Bell, I think. And he kept saying like whatever he got, he didn't want lettuce on it. And whoever was ordering, it wasn't me, was like, I'm not making these people's jobs any harder. So he got lettuce on it. Eddie sat in the back pouting the entire. He wouldn't even pick it. He was the whole time. But he's in WWE now, so what do I know? That's always been one of my favorites. Very wasteful and littering. On
very, very wasteful.
Young and dumb. Any other good ones left? I don't know. First time I ever met Hollow Wicked, we drove to Canada together, and we spent. What?
He got mad at you for not putting on.
Oh yeah, he got mad at me because I don't use parking brakes. Still don't.
Of all the things to get mad about,
right? Of all the things to get upset about.
Sarah has yelled at me for this several times. I just don't do it. I don't know the point of it. I don't even know if the one in my car works.
There you go.
But at some point, we both found out that we both like underground rap. So for like a good hour, 2 hours, it was. Have you ever heard this? Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Have you ever heard this?
That's sick.
Like, going back
I love that.
Him, like, have you ever heard like Sage Francis? Dude, I love Sage Francis. Have you ever heard Cannonball? Oh, I love Cannonball. Have you ever heard? And just going back, and actually,
right.
I brought that up to him because it was still funny to me.
Right.
And I said Sage Francis because I just recently started listening to him like heavy again. And so I was like, do you remember when we talked about this? Like, I just got really back into Sage Francis. And like, we started talking like same idea of the conversation. Like, you ever hear this? And we're both just, yeah, that's awesome. What about this? And not as wacky as throwing pizza out, but I think that's a very funny, like, I think people don't look at How Wicked and me and go,
right,
we're going to have a conversation about underground rap. But we did for a long time. Very boring conversation to anybody else who wasn't us.
Right. Right.
Sure.
Sunny Kiss was sleeping in the back seat. Didn't wake up.
She was out. She was like, I'm good. We're good.
Yeah.
Yep. I've had it. So here's an interesting question. Speaking of road stories, and this is something that has come up quite a bit on our show here.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done much wrestling in the New England, Vermont area?
Never Vermont, but I've done like Maine and like Massachusetts. Like never Vermont though, I don't think.
Okay. So being up there, have you ever seen a moose?
A moose?
Yeah, like in person, have you seen a moose?
No, and actually, one of the times I wrestled in Canada, I asked somebody there about seeing a moose, and they were like, "Yeah, I see him all the time." I was like, "Where do I go for this?" And I go, they broke my heart. They go, "I've never actually seen a moose." I was like,
"Yeah, see, listen,
we did see a bear driving up once though, and that was cool."
Yeah. We only had one person acknowledge moose on this show. We've had at least 4 people say they're not real. Don't exist. They're fake. They're AI. They're not existent.
You know what? I'm on board with it. The guy in Canada never saw a moose. They're not real.
So this all started with a conversation with Ultimo Ant because he's talking about
very first
Vermont.
Okay, first guest.
Yeah, so he's driving up there to Vermont all the time, and he's traveling with CC Boost. And so they're trying to find moose because they've been told there's this highway in Canada where more people are killed by moose than anywhere else in the United States. So every time they go up there, they drive up and down this highway looking for moose, and they never find one.
Never see it. Nope.
But CC Boost has guaranteed that if they ever find a moose, he's going to get out and wrestle it.
He would too.
Yeah, yes.
Right. Yes. He absolutely would.
It would be the saddest demise.
He can have that one.
Yes.
It would be
the saddest demise of a pro wrestler ever.
Yeah.
I say
that's all him.
Book Musselmania, it would be the best and worst match / funeral.
I feel like we're booking a great card for Steel Stacks right now. We got
right.
Moose.
Yeah.
We got Mean Street Posse doing something. I'm wrestling Duke the Dumpster somewhere.
There you right.
Man,
sign us up. Let's do it.
Yeah. Sounds like
make it happen.
Yeah. We've basically done Chris's job for him. We'll tell you where to send the checks, buddy. Thanks.
I did once in Canada drive. So me and Tony Deppen went there for a C4 show, just me and him.
Mm-hmm.
And he got drunk after his match. And it was his car. So I was like, yeah, I could drive your car home. That's no problem. And we got stuck in a Canadian blizzard.
Oh, no.
I'm in New Jersey. Driving in snow happens all the time, you know?
Yeah.
But that was a whole different experience. And I'm driving somebody else's car.
Right.
I was terrified that whole time.
Jeez. Yeah, I can't imagine.
We made it. We made it home. But that's my Canadian story. I was miserable that whole drive. He was probably passed out or something. And I was just like, this isn't my car. This isn't my car.
Right.
We made it. No moose, though.
No moose?
No. Yeah. Again, no moose.
Again, we've only had Jack Martins was the only person to actually acknowledge the fact.
And he said he saw one at a zoo.
At a zoo.
That doesn't count.
No, I don't think that's true either, because
I don't think that even happens.
Yeah, that was a reindeer. That was a reindeer that they made look like a moose.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
Something was off there.
Like there was that Chinese zoo or Japanese zoo where they were painting dogs to look like panda bears.
Oh, right.
He fell for one of those.
That's amazing. That really happened?
Yeah, that's a real thing. I think it was a Chinese zoo.
Hilarious.
And they were painting dogs to look like pandas.
Jeez.
They had to have been a certain kind of dog, though, because you have to have the dog at least look like.
They must have. Yeah, I remember there's definitely pictures from it somewhere.
Right.
I don't know why that's so fresh in my head, though.
They're just pandas and dogs.
Yep.
Throw that in your brain.
All right, so you've already mentioned that life is busy there with the Cannon baby, as it were. But in addition to being a husband and a father, what does Jeff Cannonball like to do in his spare time? Macrame.
What's that?
Macrame?
Macrame.
Paint happy little trees? I don't know.
I mean, now, besides for like wrestling, it is really all about just hanging out with the wife and the kid.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, I work a job where I work 12-hour days, so I really, I have to cherish those times I can.
Yeah.
What do I do?
What do we do?
He's got to ask. Yeah, what do I do?
We gotta ask the wife. We go to the drive-in as much as possible.
Nice.
Do that. Twice a year, we go to a horror convention that happens in Southern Jersey.
Monster Mania.
Oh, yes.
Monster Mania, yeah.
Yes.
I've been many times. It's amazing.
Yes.
I'm a big horror movie nerd, as you can see.
Nice.
Time.
Yes.
And there's a chainsaw.
Yeah.
I'm a horror nerd, so a lot of that. Like I'm doing the whole 31 movies of October thing right now. I'm already up to
nice.
I'm up to 26 because I watch a lot.
Right.
I do like board games. Haven't gotten to do that much.
Nice.
I'm a nerd.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd.
I watch a lot of battle rap.
No.
Okay. All right.
I watch a lot of battle rap. I would go every once to the shows, but I don't think I've done that since the kid was born. Just guys yelling mean poems at each other. I love it.
Right.
It's pro wrestling. It's two people who don't actually have a problem with each other.
Yeah.
Pretending to hate each other.
And just having beef. Right.
But instead of throwing punches and leg drops, they're just yelling about shooting each other.
They're throwing words out there. Throwing out the words.
Yeah. And there's a few of it. I talk to MLJ about battle rap probably every other day at the very least.
Yeah.
Falaba. I talk to him all the time about there's a few of us. There's a few.
So do you have any good Monster Mania stories? Anything interesting happened while you were there?
Yeah. So what was it, last year, I think? I always think it's funny, and Tara does not allow me to do this.
Oh no.
Where I say I'm going to challenge different celebrity guests to fist fights in the parking lot. Keith David, that was his name, right?
Yeah, you wanted to fight
Keith David, known for his very famous fight scene from They Live.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, that's the right movie, right? Yeah, I don't know why. I guess that's what
right.
I was like, oh, I should ask him to go outside and we'll fight. And
she's like, no.
I started making the joke about Gary Busey because I was like, he probably would do it.
Yeah,
that's probably would do it.
And so a couple of the security guards at Monster Mania, they used to do security for like CZW when I was working for CZW.
Mm-hmm.
None of us do that anymore. And so like we always make time to talk with them. And I said to one of them, I go, I'm going to go try to fight Gary Busey. And he goes, oh, I wish you would. And he's like he's volunteer. You've seen him like 100%. Like you might not know, but he's like big white beard, kind of an older guy. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I wish you would. He's such an asshole. And like he hated him. He was telling me stories from, like other conventions about hating him. Mm-hmm. And then we'll usually only do like one day, maybe two at most. But then the next day is the day that Gary Busey was escorted off the premises by police.
No,
because not as funny, but he was grabbing ladies' butts, like people who asked him to take pictures, and he would start feeling them up. And so, like the day before that, Eugene, who was a security guard there, was like, "Oh yeah, I wish you would fight him." And then that happens. I was like, "That's crazy."
I wish you would.
He was all about it. He was all about it.
Right. Yeah, I can't imagine.
I always feel nice. I mean, this is going to sound cocky, but I get recognized like one or two times almost every time. That feels
Love
nice.
It. That's all.
That's cool.
Dude, honestly,
movie nerd, and those are my people. So like,
yeah,
it feels better.
It's wild that for two things. It's wild that I'm going on the Jericho cruise for the fourth time, and on those cruises, you just make one giant family. It's just 2,600 of you for the same reason, and you're all family. So
I believe,
and a bunch of us go every year. So I've seen a bunch of them that I was like, "Hey, how's it been? I've talked to you in a year, but hey, like no time has passed within that year, and then it's cool to get recognized." But also doing this podcast, I don't think I don't think or believe I'm famous in any way. I just do a show that I enjoy. But getting recognized at some of these wrestling shows, it's kind of like, whoa, they know who I am. Right. Like,
it's awesome. It's very
it's the weirdest thing.
It's like it kind of pumps your ego up, but like in a way where it's like I'm still humbled, but like it's crazy to me. Like,
right.
I don't take any of it for granted. It's so weird. Like I almost every time I'm a big Trauma fan. Like
Avenger, yes.
I always stop at the table. I pretty much own everything I want from them, but I always look at the table anyway.
Right.
And there's like two guys that always talk to me. Like they know who I am. And I remember I went to a screening of a newer Trauma movie, and one of them was there, and we started talking. Like they're just great dudes.
Yeah,
it's always humbling to be like, "You're Jeff Cannonball." Like it's weird. It's so weird. I love it.
Yeah, it really is.
It gives me a little cocky feeling that I
right.
get. And then I the next day I go to Walmart. Nobody ever talks to me.
Right. Yeah, then it's back to normal.
I have the exact opposite problem. I can't go shopping at Walmart because all the door greeters recognize me. Like they must all listen to the podcast. They're like, "Hey, I know you." I'm like, "No, you don't."
No. That's
not me. That's just somebody that looks like me.
I did once get recognized at a Taco Bell drive-through, and I was like, I did not like that one.
You're like, no, I don't want that. No,
that was like, no, not here.
Of all places,
I'm already ordering too much Taco Bell for one person. Don't
right. You're like, no, I don't want this embarrassment. We're good.
I ordered 14 Baja Blasts. Don't judge me.
Yeah. Stop going.
That would be me.
Yeah. Just no more. He's done.
Oh boy.
So it's a blessing and a curse sometimes.
Sure.
Of course.
I can imagine. All right. So, do you have any maybe future goals or things that you would still like to accomplish in the wrestling business? Anything you can think of?
So kind of, I feel like for somebody who looks like me, who is, of average height at best, and has always been a big fat guy, I've done more in wrestling than I probably ever should have done. Like I wrestled at Tournament of Death, which, as a deathmatch guy, that was number one goal.
That's the match.
Exactly. At that time, especially, that was it. Now, like the Nick Gage Invitational is like the big tournament, the NGI. I've done that too. I've gotten to wrestle in Canada a bunch of times. I've gotten flown to places to wrestle where I didn't pay for the flight.
Oh wow!
This is a nice bragging point on my point. At this time, I am Raven's last televised match.
Wow, so that's huge. All right,
I think the match is on YouTube now. It was an MLW show.
Okay,
it was a multi-man, but I was in Raven's last televised match at the time of this. Who knows if he'll do another one?
That's crazy.
I've done more than I should have. I would still like to have do one of those extra spots on whether it's WWE or AEW or ROH.
Right.
And I know those really don't mean much. That doesn't do anything for you really.
Right.
But I think I'm realistic. I'm never going to get a job with one of those companies as a regular. Just let me come in there and get a little tiny paycheck to stand there and get hit, or even just pretend to be a cop like Dan Barry. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I think you made a career out of that.
Yes. Yes.
For a long time, and I would love to wrestle in Australia. I love much stuff about Australia. I love a lot of music and comedy and things like that. But that's a long flight. So if it never happens, I'm not going to cry about it either because I'm not in the bathrooms on airplanes. So.
No.
Japan would be nice too, but being realistic, I think the only thing I still really want to do is get an extra spot. If something else comes along, that's cool. I would jump at it. Don't get me wrong, but I know it's kind of a nerdy thing to be I want to do an extra spot, but
no, that's kind of cool.
It's just what I want to do.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It'll be some kind of weird vindication.
Right.
Maybe my mom will be proud of me for the first time.
Oh, wow.
I'm kidding. I have a great relationship with
I was going to say.
Well, listen.
Just tanked it real quick.
What we need to do is we need to tell Chris that Steel Stacks 4 needs to be in Australia.
There we go. There we go.
Listen,
there it is. We've just set up the whole entire show for him. He can just ask to make it happen.
Easy. He's just got to put a couple $1,000s into it.
All he's got to do is sit at home and cash the checks because this is money.
Right, this is it.
Honestly, if he does it in Australia, I'll do it for free. Just let me look at. Have you ever seen the Australian spiders?
Yes.
They're this big.
There used to be this show on Netflix about the 100 scariest reasons to live in Australia. And it was just all terrifying. Things that would kill you.
I would love to see one of those spiders in person. I don't want to be near it, but
I'm good. I'm good.
Over the course of COVID, the real early on COVID, real lockdown COVID. Mm-hmm. I became friends with a bunch of Australian wrestlers just talking online, and they would tell me stories of I woke up and one of those spiders was on my head. I was like,
no, absolutely, I'm leaving. Bye.
The house is back to the States. I'm never coming back.
Yeah, that's it.
I just want to see one because it doesn't seem real to me.
Just like Moose.
Yeah. Well, listen. That might be the last thing you ever see if you see one of those.
Yeah, right.
That is fair.
Right.
All right. Well, with that, we have come to the time for our final question this week, presented by the good folks at the LVAC.
That's right.
Why don't you take it away, buddy?
Let's do something slightly different this time around. I didn't even know it's the route. This is off my head. Because we're sticking with the LVAC theme. You might get fired. No. And it's LVAC month. So instead of asking this question, I'm going to ask something different. I'm going to ask you, what does the LVAC mean to you? And what is the significance that working there has had on your life?
I'm sorry, what was the second part?
What is the impact that working there has had on your life?
I was already friends with Mantis going in there, but I've become so close with Chris, who also runs it. I think I've also been a pain. I don't know if you guys were at the show where it was supposed to be a street festival, and then afterwards I got on the mic. We ended up main eventing. It had to get moved inside because it was raining.
We were there.
And after a match, I got on the mic and was yelling about taking the ropes down, putting barbed wire. I've become a real pain in Chris's life. But he's become one of my closer friends I've ever made through wrestling, and same way I've met so many people through there. I never knew Avery Good until I wrestled Dasher Hatfield there. Mm-hmm. So I think LVAC, and it's I want to say it's no pressure, but that makes it sound like you're all just mailing it in and not trying hard. But it's no pressure in the way where I feel like it's one of the few places where everybody's there just to have fun, from wrestlers to the crowd. if you try to talk to Ultramancer or Chris during the shows, they're not having fun. They're beyond stressed.
Right, yeah.
Until afterwards, when I text them and go, hey, when's the next one? They go, I don't think there is going to be a next one. It's been happening since show number 2.
Right.
But I think everybody in that building, top to bottom, vendors and everything, are all just there to have fun. So like, there's no pressure in that. Like, you're still trying and you're going to put on, the best match you can. But it's almost just like, you guys are here for the same reason I am. We're just going to have fun. And I think that's why like we can get away with, we're going to come out and throw soda everywhere and dump it on you. If you want, we're going to dump it on you and everybody's just having
right.
I've even like the guy who at most of the so-called shows who sells like the vegan food over in the corner by the bar.
Yes.
I've been to his house and he's babysat my kid. Like I didn't know.
Oh, wow.
Like I've made like real friendships through this. Shout out Steven Knuckle Sandwich. He's great, making great food. Check him out every show. He sells out every time, so you're missing out if you don't. And I think it's also just impacted me where it's like there's been times. So I want to say like 2-3 years ago, my last 2 matches I had one was a GCW show, and I had one of the worst matches I ever had.
Oh, no.
Probably not, after like my first like 5 years, probably one of the worst matches after I think I got passable at best.
Oh, God.
And then I did LVAC, and it was like one of the big multi-mans. I think it was me. Tara was in it. How Wicked. I forget who else. Puff was on the other side. It just big multi-man. It was like a Christmas show. It was the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a great time. Everything in the match went smooth. And it was like, all right, don't beat myself up over one match because there's still plenty of fun to be had here.
Sure.
And I feel like I feel that way every time with LVAC. Plus, they introduced me to the Mahoney Drive-In, which, as I said before, that's my happy place now.
Mm-hmm.
So they've done a lot for me. I think like with wrestling and without, they've put me in a better headspace.
All right.
That's my sappy thing. Don't tell Chris though.
No. Listen,
I'll text him an insult later about something.
Right.
There you go.
Just
balance it out. Yeah.
Balance it out.
His stupid velvet paintings.
Well, listen, you can just show him a picture of that sick tiger painting you've got on the wall.
Right.
There. Yeah. That'll put him to shame.
That's a painting by a pretty popular tattoo artist, Akira Latanzio in Brooklyn. I highly suggest checking him out.
Wow.
I've known him since 2nd grade, but now he's like a famous tattoo artist. So he did like a raffle, and then it was like $100 for a ticket, and I actually won. I even hit him up like, if you work that, like, please don't give this to me.
Right.
No, I didn't expect you to win either. So
right. Yeah.
Very cool.
Support R&D tattoo. That's where he is now.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, with that, it is now time to get to our main event top 5 list. Which
so excited!
Here's a big surprise because I didn't see this one coming. This is also presented by the LVAC. I did not see that coming.
Good swerve.
And that was a big surprise. I didn't.
Big surprise.
And I made the graphic, and I still didn't see it coming. All right. So what do we have tonight?
So excited for this week's theme. It is not only on theme for LVIC, but it's also on theme because it is October. Halloween is right around the corner. So we're doing top 5 LVAC versus horror movie character dream matches.
Yes.
And I cannot wait to hear what you have for us because you have done your homework. You said you have way too much thought into this. I'm so excited.
Yes. Got my phone because I will not remember them. So if I'm looking down, don't think I'm being weird.
No, you're good.
So I didn't do it in order of how the card would go.
Okay.
Because that's not a top 5. I did it in order of matches I would want to see.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay. Perfect. So
the first one, and I tried to be slightly like entry level horror, just so everybody would understand the characters I'm saying. Because not, I can go off on some weird nerdy stuff. But
right.
The first one kind of goes against that. Are you guys familiar with the movie Basket Case?
Yes.
So Belial.
Yes. Oh yes.
I have him versus Lucky 13.
Oh wow.
And the reason for that, of course, is every time I've wrestled Lucky 13, he has kicked me in the crotch. Every time he wins a match at LVAC, he's kicking people in the dick. Lyle doesn't have a dick.
So there you go.
Oh, that's great.
I realized after I made this, I didn't put Cheeseburger on, and I feel like you can't have an LVAC show without Cheeseburger. So he's refereeing.
There you go. All right, why not?
Yeah, well,
thinking long term, Lucky loses the match. He gets mad at Cheeseburger. They have a match later down the line.
There you
go. Yeah.
Up next, this could probably main event the LVAC, but this is only number 4. Am I going too fast? Should I let this?
No, you're fine.
No, you're fine. Yeah.
So up next, again, probably could be the main event. As we all know, LVAC loves doing their wacky multi-mans, especially for the mains.
Yes.
So we've got the team of Ultra Mantis, Frightmare, and Hall Wicked. And they'll be wrestling Pinhead, the fat Cenobite, whose name I don't remember.
Oh. Yeah, I don't remember his name either,
gross, but the fat one, and I could say that because I look like him. And then also with them is the CD Cenobite from Hellraiser 3.
Oh, wow.
Who shoots CDs out of his head.
Man. So the Hellraisers versus the Spectral Envoy.
Yeah. And it's basically a bunch of dark and evil characters. So they're basically fighting for whoever's the most evil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A real heel versus heel match.
The most devious.
Yeah, most devious.
Well, and what would be great about that is if the CD Cenobite was shooting Ultramantis' own CD at him.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Right.
Like, that would be great.
I think that's the comeuppance Ultramantis deserves.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And I'm also going to say Hellraiser 3 is not as bad as everybody acts. It's so much fun. I love it.
Right.
It's not 1 or 2, but it's still fun.
Sure.
Right.
Number 3 also could be a main event. Could be a main event anywhere, not just LVAC.
Okay. All right.
Dan Champion versus Freddy Krueger.
Oh,
and now,
okay.
My thought on that is Dan Champion's basically the face of LVAC.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No
I
question.
would say you can make an argument for Jason or Michael, but I would say Freddy's the face of most horror icons.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you guys are horror fans now, so you can tell me if you disagree, but I think that would be the
no, I think you have the ultimate good against the ultimate evil.
It's when people who don't even know anything about horror movies think about horror movies, Freddy Krueger is right up there. Like people know who that is. Right. It's an icon of horror. So
you have like your main top 3. Even if you're not a horror fan, you know who Jason is, you know who Krueger is, and you know who Myers is.
And you know, I could see Dan Champion in a match maybe with Orange Cassidy or somebody that puts Dan to sleep, and when Dan falls asleep, out comes Freddy Krueger.
There you go.
There you go. Message Chris. That's on Steel Stacks now.
There you go.
Yeah, that's on the card.
There you go.
Because we got to get to Freddy, so he's got to wrestle Orange Cassidy first. But
yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, big Dan versus like Jason, who's big. That works too.
Right.
Freddy's just got the charisma. I think he would be the best pro wrestler of the 3 of them.
It would also be like the best promo build, I think, for a match ever.
He's gotten a better promo than Michael Myers.
Yes.
Plus, he never did a really garbage movie with Rob Zombie, so I think that
also yes.
Which I just watched that for the first time this month, and I learned that people like it, and I don't understand liking that. No offense if that's you.
Well, people have their dark secrets, and that might be one of them.
I like Hellraiser 3, so I'm right there.
Everybody's got one in there.
Yes,
you know, lots of horror movies.
So I also like the Puppet Master movies. I like plenty of garbage.
Well, listen, that's like people that tell you that Leprechaun Back to the Hood was good.
That was the second Leprechaun movie I ever saw in my life.
Oh yeah, that was a mistake. Listen, the rest of the series holds up.
3 is still incredible.
Yeah.
Leprechaun 3 is still perfect. 4 in space, not so much. But we can go space with Dan Champion, Freddy Krueger too. I don't know.
Right? Yeah, sure. Why not?
Up next, I've got Erica Lee.
Okay.
Versus, I put the original Pennywise just because I feel like you know that.
No, that's fine.
This is gonna be a special stipulation. It's a honk off. Don't know what that means, but Erica likes saying honk. Pennywise honks thing.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
So we got a real honk off on that one.
That's funny. That's borderline over the edge, but funny.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like squirt soda. Listen.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. Erica does the weird honk thing on TV at this point, and
so sure.
Pennywise has been honking horns, so I don't know. Maybe we put a horn up on a pole, and it's the first one that
a horn on a pole.
Right,
that WCW had on. And then
Judy Bagwell is just rolling her eyes somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. And then my number one wouldn't be the main event though. We got Club Soda because of course I'm gonna book myself.
Right.
Versus the twins from The Shining.
Oh wow!
But
oh man!
So Ralph, I don't know if or either of you, I don't know if you guys were at the more recent Monster Man where the twins from The Shining were there.
No.
They're both very in their 80s probably.
Mm-hmm.
So it's those ones,
right?
Not the children.
Do they still look like twins?
Oh yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
But I think it's mildly less offensive for me and Puff to beat up old people than children.
Right.
Probably.
Probably fair.
Plus, it's just an easy match for us. We're winning,
Yeah.
That's so. Great. Off the top of your head, do you have an idea of what you would call this show?
Oh man. Ooh. Yeah, I do actually. Steel Stack SmackDown 4.
I love it. Oh, it's in the books. Listen,
it's in the books. Just
Steel Stacks is going to be an amazing show next year. Don't miss out because if any one of these things happens that we've talked about tonight, it's going to be an amazing show.
Yeah. I mean, Freddie has been in an LVAC ring.
Oh, really?
You were in the match. It was in one of the matches. Tara was, I think, Ultimo Ant might have been in it as well. Mm-hmm. Some kind of multi-person match, and the lights went off, and they came on, and Freddie was in the ring. So
that's amazing.
The Halloween hangouts are sorely missed.
Yeah. I'm gonna push Chris to do that again. I mean, not this year, but
right next year.
Next year we'll do Halloween.
Yeah, I'm
in February.
Pretty sure this year hold on, this has been the most dates he's done.
Yeah, the most
at LVAC this year. Yeah.
It's been a crazy year. And they had a show canceled. They were supposed to be at the Iron Pigs again this year.
Yeah.
And things didn't work out with the date. Something else came up and it didn't work out. But
I forget what it was, but yeah, I mean, even with that though, they've run a lot more this year, which is perfect for me, who at the beginning of the year was like, all right, I'm only gonna wrestle these shows from LVAC and like a handful of others. So it's been great for me. I'm still wrestling.
Right.
I was thinking about this top 5 subject. I was half expecting something like Alf versus Cujo.
Alf has gotten involved in my matches, so
yeah,
I'm sick of his crap too.
Yes.
Yeah, he turned on Puff. I was locked in a trailer, but I saw it.
You were walked. Yeah.
You were like peeking out the window.
Yeah, you were like, shoot, let me see what's going on out there.
So yeah, it's gonna be Alf versus Jason and Michael handicap.
Oh, okay.
Gotta get the legends on. That's the legends battle royal.
Yeah.
That was an amazing top 5. That was even better than I thought it was going to be. I can't wait
into it.
I can't wait to see. Listen, there was you could tell that there was a lot of thought put into it. That the Lucky 13 Belial match, I thought the psychology between why they would wrestle and why you would have them, that was perfect.
Right.
Very, very good.
I also love That's the Case too. I'll throw that one out there as well.
There you go. Right.
Well, that's like saying you like Thanksgiving 3.
No, okay, yeah.
I know.
we used to try and watch that every year and see if anybody can make it all the way through, and almost nobody ever did.
I don't think I ever have.
It's the worst.
The worst.
5. So, before we get out of here, I know you said that. I know you said that. You mentioned that your match at Steel Stacks was your first match back in some time.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you have anything coming up that you'd like to talk about before we get out of here?
I mean, I don't know if this is going out, like when it's going out. I'm wrestling tomorrow in South River, New Jersey. Okay. It's a local show. It's with a company I didn't start with them, but I did a lot of bookings with them very early on. And then once I slowed down with wrestling, Eric Corvus helps book it. I reached out to him and I said, hey, like I'm doing less now. If you guys would have me, I'd love to just do it just because it's local. It's fun.
Right.
They're 20 minutes down the road from my house. and he said I'd love to have you. So I do their shows like once a month, maybe every other month. It's UWA Elite. I know they're on Twitter. I don't know. I'm not good with ats and all that, but they're on Twitter as UWA Elite and all that. And then I'm doing another show for them in November. And I think as of now, that's all I really have booked.
Okay.
I'll add a couple more things here and there. Like I've talked to Sean Henderson about doing stuff with him again.
Right.
But as much as like my health is getting better, like I'm still like, it's like a mental game. So like I'm still worried about that a little bit. But any LVAC thing, I'll be there. Most UWA Elite things, I'll be there. I'll start being on Sean Henderson shows.
Right.
And Labor of Love, Billy Avery's company. Like I'm big fan of what he does. I'm not on the next show, which I think is like next week. I've been talking to him as well. But
next week.
Support everything he does. And if I do more, it'll be on the social medias.
Yeah.
But
heck yeah.
Well, here's to hoping that we see you at the holiday hangout this year.
Yes. I will be there. I will be there.
Yeah. So one more question before we get out of here, because I know Ralph wanted to ask about it, but we never really got to it.
What?
And I don't think we've ever had the proper chance to ask this, but what is it like as a wrestling couple going to different wrestling events and doing everything kind of like together but apart and all that kind of stuff?
I mean,
this is also for the spirit of terror out there.
Yeah. Early on in our relationship, we definitely slept in the car together a couple times. I remember we went to Virginia, I think, and we slept in the car. And
that was North Carolina.
Okay, North Carolina.
There you go.
I'm pretty sure we got to a venue early in Virginia once and slept in the car. It was us in Tremont.
Okay.
We also.
It's a lot of person in one car.
Right.
To hang out in DC one day because we wrestled in Virginia together.
Yeah, we wrestled in Virginia together once, and we're like, hey, well, let's just stay down here for the rest of the weekend. We had a little DC vacation.
Nice.
So yeah, I think it's worked out well. In wrestling, you always hear like, don't date other wrestlers,
right?
And as much as this has worked out for us, you know, having a kid and all that, I don't think I recommend it to everybody.
Right.
I think it helps that like we have other similar interests and it's not just all based on wrestle.
Right.
But yeah, and I think like when we did more shows together, it was very much like you said, separate but the same thing. We'd watch each other. So we would ask each other for ideas if we didn't have anything. Like I said, I wrote that card, the card for today. But I'm always writing things down, so like I'll have like ideas of, hey, this would be cool if you did this, and like, it would work for me. So I think it's worked out in that sense. And then it's cool that like every once in a while I could be like, hey, we're not booked on anything. Do you want to just go hang out at this show that's 40 minutes from the house and see this person? So even though I'm not on every show, I'll still go hang out. Like I hung out like in an ICW show recently. We went to a Sean Henderson show recently. Like I just like hanging out with people.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And it works out for both of us. Did you have anything to add on this spirit? No. I don't think she was ready to be involved.
On the spot. Oh.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if that fully answered what you asked.
No, I was just we're just it's always just curiosity about like, you know, how that plays out because you know,
right.
Especially like on the bigger scales, right? You know, you have these couples that have kids, but they're always on the road. They're always away. It's like but also even the smaller status, it's kind of the same thing, just not as on the bigger scale.
Right. And like we've dragged the baby to a couple shows, and he's on his best behavior most of the time. He's a very social baby. So like that's helped out. We're like at the last Dropkick show, he was there for most of the show in the locker room, and like if I couldn't hold him, K-Trip would hold him. Who was ring announcing that show? Ultimo Ant, right? He's been good with him. Mike Seaway. There's a wrestler named Mike Seaway. He doesn't do much outside of like our like local area, but he does all the Dropkick shows. Our baby took to him. Like he loved it. Nice. His best friend. So like it's been helpful that we have a very social baby that's like, you're holding me now? Cool, let's do it.
Cool, yeah, let's hang out.
So it's been good for the whole family. Though,
Listen, it also helps from the look of Instagram that he looks darn good in a Cannonball mask.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I feel weird about putting him out in public too much.
I get
it.
You got it. No,
one day, it is fun because we'll bring him to shows and like other wrestler friends who like maybe I'm not the closest with, where I'm not sending pictures of my kid to all the time. They'll be like, "Oh, he's real cute," and you always put the mask on. So it's
right.
It's
yeah. All right. Well, this has been a phenomenal episode. Getting to chat it up with you a little bit about wrestling and life and soda and wrestling and life and soda. All those great
all those things.
The three big things.
The three big things: wrestling, life, and soda. Yep,
yeah,
that's what it's all about. But
sure,
so another
X4.
Yeah, that's right. We've the planning committee here has spoken.
The planning has spoken. Chris,
we'll get that off to Chris, and we'll make sure that he books all of that immediately. We expect that done very soon.
Yes.
But yes, it has been great getting to talk to you. I know, as you mentioned, it was just about a year ago that I sent the message out, but it's good that we finally got a chance to talk to you. Always good to see you at the LVAC shows, and
yes,
look forward to many more great times together with Club Soda and you and the whole Club Soda family, as it were.
Exactly.
The whole
I appreciate you guys having me and let me nerd out about horror movies and wrestling.
Oh no, that's
of course.
exactly
Listen, anytime you want to come on here and nerd out about anything, you are always welcome.
All right, next time we're talking nothing but battle reps, so do your homework.
All right. I'm on it.
Battle raps.
My wife will kill me, but that's what I'm doing for the next week. I'm just going to learn everything
Somebody
I can.
over here wants to kill me every time I put it on.
Yeah.
Yes, we have very similar relationships with our significant others. All right. Well, that's going to do it for episode 76. We'll be back next week with another great episode. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe everywhere you can. All of those things. And for wrestling's number one couple, the Jeff Cannonball and Tara Calloway. For Parmesan, I am King Ralph, and we will see you guys next time.
On behalf of Wild LLC, this has been the Opinion City Podcast. It has been your pleasure.
Happy trails till we meet again.